Hey there, this is Teacher Ola Podcast episode 20, Prepositions of Time, in, on, at. My name's Ola and I teach English online through one-to-one lessons. This podcast is for you if you're an English learner who wants to speak with more confidence and get rid of speaking barriers. You'll boost your vocabulary, brush up your grammar, improve your pronunciation. Go to my website for full transcript and worksheets to each episode. Happy learning! Hello, thank you so much for choosing to spend the next few minutes with me. I'm sure you need this episode. For us Polish learners, prepositions are really hard to learn. I see lots of advanced students still making mistakes with prepositions, which is understandable. For example, look, sometimes there's a preposition in Polish, for example, w zeszłym tygodniu, but there's no preposition in English, like last week. Same the other way round. Take wieczorem, in the evening. If you translate some phrases, you'll see that there are loads of differences. Significant differences, like w poniedziałek, on Monday. This is the source of your problems, and now let's clear things up. In. Let's start with in, since it's, at least in my eyes, the least tricky one. It should feel quite easy to get confidence in using it. This preposition is used for longer periods of time, like months, years, seasons, decades, and centuries. Repeat after me. Her great-grandparents arrived in the USA in 1968. Electricity and magnetism were discovered in the 19th century. I last saw her in September. I never go abroad in the summer. Water skiing and the traffic light were invented in the 20s. There's one tiny exception to this rule, unless you consider the main parts of the day as long periods of time. I consider it as an exception. Days and dates use a different preposition, on. Parts of the day are shorter than them, hence it is against the rule. Nevertheless, parts of the day take in as a preposition. Listen and repeat aloud. I always shower in the morning. She doesn't do any work in the evenings. We always have lunch together in the afternoon. There are exceptions within this exception. That's the beauty of this language. Who said English was easy? He was mad. Okay, so the thing is, you don't use in for some parts of the day. For instance, night. It's at night. But I'll come back to this example when we get to the preposition at. This is not all. Besides the long periods of time and parts of the day, in is used with events that will happen at the end of a period or at a point in time during that period. Yeah, I know, but the best way to show it is to give you examples, so please repeat after me and do it out loud. I'm sorry she's not here, but she'll be back in an hour. She'll be back in an hour means that she will be back 1 hour from now. Next sentence to repeat. I'm sure you're able to finish this painting in a day. They should arrive in a couple of minutes. Here you have it, the preposition in. Now you know absolutely everything about that pretty one. Let's move on to on. On. This preposition isn't more tricky than the preposition in. Still, it creates some hesitation in Polish speakers. It comes down to translating before speaking. Remember this one rule. Use on with days and dates. Repeat these sentences. I've been invited to a party on the 14th of February. I practice yoga on Saturdays. I never go to a party on New Year's Eve. We always do something special on our anniversary. He didn't expect to see me on his birthday. What do you usually do on Christmas Day? I have my Spanish lessons on Monday mornings. My dear friend, let's not make it more difficult than it really is. On with days. Anniversary is a day, just like New Year's Day, Christmas Day, and birthday. Let's have a look at, shall we? At can be tricky. Basically, there's a rule to remember, but there are some phrases with at you have to learn by heart, by repeating sentences. For example, the rule first. The rule says that we use at with clock times and points of time in the day. This is used to describe the shortest period of time. Okay, let's practice by repeating a few sentences. My train leaves at 6:45. I'll be back at 4 o'clock. I'll meet you at lunchtime. I can't see you at midnight. What time do you go to bed at night? Night. Think that it's not part of the day really, is it? And that's why you can't use in here. It's an exception. We also use at with weekends and holiday periods. Repeat, please. I hope to get some rest at the weekend. People exchange gifts at Christmas. What do you do at Easter? Do you do sport at weekends? One more bunch of phrases. All of them represent points in time. Listen and repeat. At last I discovered how it works. I'll make a bank transfer at the beginning of the month. I can't speak to you at the moment, I'm sorry. My husband and I arrived at the same time. This is all I got about the preposition at. I would like to add one more thing. Don't use any preposition before words like this, every, next, last, and yesterday. The final occasion to say correct sentences out loud is right now, so let's do it. They moved away last Wednesday. See you next year. She visits her parents every Sunday. You need to call her this evening. Okay, here you have it. 3 prepositions of time, fully explained and practiced through repetition. Well done. Now it's time to practice even more, so download the worksheet. It's waiting for you at teacherola.com/20. Free transcripts of this episode is also there. Do you know someone who needs this podcast? Is there anyone you know who constantly messes prepositions up? Please let them know about me. Thank you for being here with me, for taking some time for yourself. Be here next Wednesday. I'll tell you a thing or two about translating in your head. All teachers say, stop translating in your head. But I say, it's impossible. Please check episode 21 when it's out if you want to find out more. Till then, have a great week. Happy learning. Bye-bye.